Diecasts will get even more expensive, and NASCAR's got a commissioner. Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Jed. Welcome back to an episode of Inside Line. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we get into it, as always, if you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and comment your thoughts down below on any of the two stories we'll be discussing in today's episode. We're going to first start off with Lionel Racing. They do not have a good track record with NASCAR, from being way too exclusive with them being the only ones that are allowed to produce said diecast, to the charge, to the prices of said diecast, to the delays of orders, to the cars not looking exactly like the cars you see on the racetrack. A lot of issues with Lionel. Well, that price I just mentioned is going to get even more expensive. If you're familiar with what's happening in our world, in our country, you know that the United States is implementing tariffs on everyone, including China, and a 20% tariff on all China imports. And since, well, 90% of the things we buy come from China, yeah, things are going to get a bit more expensive, including Lionel's diecasts. There will be a surge charge added on top of all Lionel products. That will be about 10% to wholesale purchasers, and also to people that have pre-ordered it. So if you bought a diecast or pre-ordered a diecast before the tariffs were implemented, or before the surcharge was implemented, you're still going to be affected by that because it will automatically increase. Now everybody knows that with the tariffs and everything that's implemented, we the consumer have to foot the bill. It is not China or not Lionel. Usually they just pass all of that to us. So this is how I will explain it with Lionel and the whole tariff situation. So with Lionel, they pay more to bring the product from its factory, or from China, or which is where it's all made. As a result of that, Lionel, they sell it to retailers, Walmart, Target, etc. They have to make it a higher price in order to actually make a profit. So as a result, we foot the bill. So pretty simple. All I'm going to say is this: I'm not surprised. We all knew this was happening. And to further cause less discourse in the comments, let's move on to another topic, shall we? Let's talk about NASCAR. And they made some executive changes. They're adding a new commissioner. Yes, Steve Phelps, he has been the president of NASCAR for quite some time now, has now been promoted effective immediately to become the first commissioner of NASCAR, while Steve O'Donnell will be promoted as the new president of NASCAR, being, I believe, the 7th ever president in the history of NASCAR. Now, why do I say commissioner in quotation marks? Is because while technically, yes, he is, he's also not. Steve Phelps being the first commissioner of NASCAR. NASCAR has actually had 7 previous national commissioners. The last one being John Middlebrook from 2010 to 2014, although I believe at that time it was renamed to the Chief Appellate Officer of NASCAR. So basically, the honorary commissioner of NASCAR was a powerless honorary title that acted as the final appeal for penalties and sanctions that were implemented by NASCAR. So yeah, Steve Phelps is the first official one, but they've had previous honorary or national commissioners. So what does Steve do now as a commissioner of NASCAR? Well, he will basically oversee NASCAR, oversee IMSA now on top of that, and also oversee the 15 NASCAR-owned tracks, and will be a direct report to Jim France, the CEO of NASCAR, which I thought he already did that as the president of NASCAR. I guess not. I don't know. Adam Stern for the Sports Business Journal went further explanation on this by saying, for Phelps, the move will allow him to take a more big picture role at NASCAR and optically be on a more level playing field with stick and ball leaders like NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The move also allows O'Donnell to run day-to-day operations, something he had already been preparing for over the last year by taking on an increasing number of direct reports who had reported to Phelps. Now you're probably wondering, why did I highlight that part in red? Align more to be on the same level as the NBA and NFL commissioners. Well, isn't it interesting that earlier this month, on March 5th, NASCAR attorney Christopher Yates, when discussing the whole NASCAR 2011 countersuit, said this: "I don't think Mr. Polk really understands the sport. His view is it should be more like the NBA. He's done a lot of things that might work in the NBA or might be okay in the NBA, but just are not appropriate in NASCAR." Pick a side! Okay, NASCAR. What are you? What are you supposed to be? I am so confused. You say things like this that suggest we're not a stick and ball sport. This is NASCAR, this is different. Yet you then do things like you implement the playoffs to be more like other stick and ball sports. You implement stage racing to be more like the quarters or the intermissions like in football and hockey. And then now you're adding a commissioner, which every other stick and ball sport has. NBA, NHL, MLB, MLS, NFL. They all have that. Like, so it's just things like this. I'm just like, okay, what are you supposed to be? Are you a stick and ball sport that is on wheels, or are you a motorsport that is strictly a motorsport? Which one are you? I am so confused. You're just going in and out. Now I know that the Steves, I should say, they don't have a good reputation with NASCAR fans, but Steve has done some good things. I felt like how he handled with the COVID situation, how he has dealt with the diversity situation going on in 2020 and trying to improve on that, how he's dealt with the schedule revamp, trying to be more international. He's done some good things. We're not going to be oblivious to that. I think we can all agree that he has done some good things. However, there are some things that you do have to be like, okay, why is he doing this, or why is he saying this? I know a lot of people don't like Steve O'Donnell. I have issues with him, how he has handled the competition side of things and viewing more NASCAR in the entertainment landscape and not trying to understand that, listen, this is a sport. Let's try and keep integrity in the sport. Although he did say some things in that Hauler Talk podcast a few weeks ago, talking about the playoffs, being more legitimate. He has said some things that makes you kind of go, okay, could there be something changing for the good, for the better? And he did say a comment under this. Now, he did make a comment about the promotion and about trying to bring in new fans that I generally agree with. He said, we know if we can get people out to an event, they're going to love the sport. But there's other ways you have to expose the sport to people. It's a sport everyone can love as long as they get that first taste. So the job across all of our folks at NASCAR and putting a tremendous effort into this is just get the sport out there. I agree with that 1000%. I felt like NASCAR, as of late, NASCAR is doing a much better job of trying to get the name out there and get the drivers out there with the initiative program by setting up this payment system, getting drivers to go out there, promote the sport. That is a fantastic job by them. I will be fair. Not everything that the Steves have done is bad. A lot of it can be bad, but there are some things where it's like, okay, I can see their mindset, or there are some things where like, hey, I agree with it. I do wonder about the future of NASCAR, because one of the things that Steve Phelps mentioned, and being the commissioner of NASCAR, is to take on a more international landscape, trying to make it more global. If you remember weeks ago, a while back, there was speculation, rumors wondering about the future of NASCAR and the potential of a sale. And I feel like, and this is just me thinking here, NASCAR is positioning themselves for that by having these people that they've known for a long time, the Steves, Ben Kennedy, people like that, putting them in executive positions or in high positions of NASCAR to be able to prepare for when either A, Jim France steps aside because he is getting up there in age. He's not going to be there forever. For when A, Jim France steps aside, someone can fill in that role automatically, smooth, have no bumps or issues whatsoever. Or B, set themselves up in position for a potential sale of the sport that could happen down the line, because there have been rumors and things going around about the potential of the France family putting either a stake of NASCAR up for sale or just putting up NASCAR as a whole for sale. So yeah, I just wanted to add some interest into that when it comes to, yes, the whole commissioner aspect, that's a big thing, but I think we maybe need to look a little bit deeper into that, look into, okay, what could this mean for the future, 5-6 years down the line? Because we know NASCAR does not make a move for no reason. There is a plan. There is a game plan in this. Whether we like it or not, there is a plan, a reason for every single decision NASCAR makes. And I feel like that this decision that NASCAR is making is to prep themselves for a post-France era. But those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below on any of the two stories that we talked about. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.